Hey folks, I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. So yeah, today is Wednesday, the 25th of January 2024, and as you can see a ferry there. It's got some banners and things like that. That's because tomorrow on the 26th is actually Australia Day, so it's a public holiday. So there's gonna be a ferry ride. People get on board the ferry if you like, and they take off from Circular Quay from downtown Sydney, and they go around the bay if you like. They do a bit of a circle and then they come back. And they have a race. It's not like who's the fastest or whatever, but yeah, it's just kind of like more of a symbolic thing, if you know what I mean. As you can see, downtown Sydney, it's a very windy day today, or even right now, the wind is blowing. That's pretty good because right now I'm walking here in my local park, and I'm going to be talking about the Rapture in a moment, a short video. But it's about 32 degrees Celsius. With this wind, it's bringing the humidity a little bit down, so I suspect it's about 90 to 95 Fahrenheit in the American scale, so it is quite warm. So yeah, tomorrow in downtown Sydney, there's going to be a lot of people. The pool barriers is going to be overcrowded. People are going to be partying, if you know what I mean. There's going to be fireworks and things like that. So I'm not going to be taking part in those festivities tomorrow. I just think it's a lot better to stay home and chillax and stay away from the crowds. And in any case, it'll be very difficult for me to get to downtown Sydney because for starters, if I leave in the morning, the ferries are not going to be available. I normally get it from around the bay there. They're not going to be available because they're going to be having these races and it's going to be fully packed. I can always get a bus if I want to downtown, or even ride my electric scooter and go over the bridge, hiding over there somewhere. So no big deal. But anyway, folks, yeah, just I wanted to do a video about the Rapture, just a short one, just to give you some mind points, I guess, because people, are worried and as they see the geopolitical disintegrates and the rumors of wars, and the wars are getting a little bit more complicated right now, especially with the Houthis of Yemen, how they are causing shipping issues in the Red Sea, and as a result of this, no doubt that the prices of goods are going to go up, including gas as well. Gas just rose. I just came from visiting my brother, and it rose to $2.17 per liter. So in American scale, that would be roughly about maybe a good, I would say, 90 cents per liter, or maybe, but I think you guys do it, it's the equivalent of 4 liters, something like that. So so let's see, we're looking at about almost $9. So that's probably, say, a good $6.50 US, I would say, per gallon, $6.50 US per gallon. So that's quite considerable, maybe pushing $7 per gallon. And of course, this raises inflation worldwide because the world economy is powered by oil. So, but anyway, let me just sit here, folks, on these nice seats and do a video for you guys. So yeah, I guess people are worried about the Rapture, and they're saying, well, when is the Rapture happening? Quite clearly, folks, just remember that Paul was also a prophet, not just a preacher and teacher and an apostle. Remember when Paul said, when they talk about peace and safety in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3, well, that is a prophecy, folks, and we got to take that seriously. We can't just dismiss that and say, well, who cares, Rapture at any cost. No, folks, we got to believe everything that the Bible teaches, everything, including the gospel. If you believe in the gospel of Paul, why can you then believe that guy when they talk about peace and safety and destruction? Let me ask you a fundamental question. Are you hearing peace and safety right now? Far from it, folks. Of course not. What you're hearing is, the intensifying of the rumors of wars and the wars, right? So how can we have the Rapture now? Not to mention, folks, that we also, under 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, the man of sin has to be revealed. it quite clearly says in the Bible. I even did a video on this, even what the Greek says in its original translation, quite clearly, let no man deceive you that day shall not come. Okay, so that day is talking about, the day of the Lord. In other words, the rapture. That day shall not come, or is not happening, unless we have the apostasy, which we already have, and that the man of sin be revealed. That's the Antichrist. So unless he's revealed quite clearly, we're not going to have the rapture. So I don't know why people keep saying that, no, we're not going to see him, he's too evil. We will. I mean, the Bible says that we will. Let no man deceive you that day, in other words, the rapture, shall not come till the apostasy, and that the man of sin be revealed. In other words, the Antichrist. Okay, and also not to mention that we need the third temple before the rapture of the church, because Isaiah and Micah prophesy these too, but people just don't want to believe these prophecies. Everybody says, oh, rapture of the church, and at the moment nothing is needed, so help me God, and they raise their right hand. I mean, come on, folks, we've got to believe all the Bible. We can't just pick and choose and say to ourselves, or delude, or make ourselves, or turn ourselves into fools, right? And say, okay, well, who cares about Isaiah and Micah that prophesy the third temple, okay? If you read Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2 and 3, and Micah chapter 4, verse 1 and 2, it says that the third temple is going to be fully rebuilt and established at the end of the church age where we are right now. People keep dismissing these prophecies, and these are vital. If you understand these prophecies, folks, you're going to be in complete peace. I repeat, you're going to be in complete peace, because then you will know when the rapture is going to happen. Can we know when the rapture of the church is going to happen? Yes, we can. Okay, let me copy the slogan from, what's his name? Donald Trump. Yes, we can, America. Yes, we can. How? Okay, well, we know that after the third temple, okay, we are no longer needed here, because if you read the book of Revelation 11, it quite clearly says this. The angel says to John the apostle, "Hey John, go and measure the temple." You know why? John? Because that temple is needed for Moses and Elijah to prophesy for 1,260 days. In other words, the first half of the tribulation period. He's saying to John, "Hey, go and measure that temple," because that temple is saying temple. It's not saying, "Hey John, go and measure the half-rebuilt temple," or go and scratch your head and see if they actually built some kind of platform or whatever. No. Go and measure the temple. The temple. There's a temple there, folks. I mean, plain English. Come on, folks, And so, after the third temple, we are no longer needed. That's why we are here, folks. The only reason why we are here, and we haven't had the rapture of the church, is because of the third temple. Unless that is done for Moses and Elijah, like has been prophesied by Isaiah and Micah, and also the revelation that John had, given by the angel regarding the third temple, then we are not going to get out of here. So we can know that sometime after the third temple is done, we are no longer needed. Moses and Elijah have the third temple, and after that, sometime after that, we'll be out. Like I said on many videos before, you will have to think by common sense that the Antichrist has to, perhaps be in the inauguration at the third temple, with the Jewish rabbis and the Jewish authorities, and then that will be the perfect opportunity, for the Antichrist to come out and reveal himself under 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, and then simultaneously at the same time fulfill the prophecies of Daniel 9:27, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And then also 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3, that when he confirms the covenant and talks about peace and safety, just like Paul told us, okay, bang, sudden destruction, rapture, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. So you see these three main prophecies coming to pass simultaneously and precisely all at the same time. Daniel 9:27, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, and 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. Check them out, folks, And, I've done so many videos, but I don't know why people just don't understand it, it baffles me, folks. It baffles me how people can say that nothing is needed. I mean, can I say, please, folks, how can the rapture of the church happen right now? Folks, Israel right now is in war, okay? If we have the rapture right now, okay, understand this. it'll cause prophetic chaos. Okay, I repeat the word prophetic chaos. I believe that I'm the first person in the world to coin the term prophetic chaos. Okay, I'm the first person in the world not only to coin this term prophetic chaos, but I'm the first person in the world to decipher the rapture of the church, thanks to God. He gave me the knowledge. And when God was actually giving me that night the knowledge of deciphering the rapture of the church, He also let me to know that the prophecies of Daniel 9:27, Isaiah 28:15, Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7, and Daniel 12:1, okay? These are all, I've done videos on this already, these are all warning prophecies for Israel, saying, hey, Israel, you're going to be signing this covenant and you're going to get yourself, into trouble. And I know what the majority of pastors are going to say. No, Daniel 9:27 belongs into the tribulation. I know that Daniel 9:27 talks about the tribulation, okay? Daniel 9, let me decipher this for you right now. Daniel 9:27 talks about the tribulation, yes. Now, let me just clear the text here. The Olivet Discourse, okay, found in Matthew 24, and also Luke 21, and also Revelation 6-18, that's all for the tribulation. Yes, 100%, all that is for the tribulation, undoubtedly. I agree with that. But not Daniel 9:27. Daniel 9:27 belongs, at least half of it, but it belongs into the church age, all of it anyway, as a warning prophecy, together with Isaiah 28:15. Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7 and Daniel 12:1, warning Israel, hey, you're going to be entering into Jacob's trouble because of the covenant. You're going to be entering into Daniel's 70th week. Now, you need to realize, folks, that God needs to warn Israel before they get into trouble. What did God do before the first and the second temples were destroyed? God sent the prophets to warn Israel about the destruction of the first temple. And Jesus told his apostles, hey, that second temple is going to be destroyed and not one stone will be left from it. So this is something that people need to understand, that God needs to warn Israel first. Hey, Israel, there's trouble up ahead, with, the covenant and so on, So, and if you read them carefully, you will see what I mean. And Daniel 9:27 belongs into the dispensation of the church age, but right at the end, borderline with the tribulation period, because the Antichrist has to come out. Okay, he has to come out, and the 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3, he has to reveal himself, and then he has to simultaneously fulfill 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3. He has to talk about peace and safety. What peace and safety is that? Confirming the covenant of Daniel 9:27. As soon as he confirms peace and safety, Daniel covenant 9:27, bang, rapture of the church, just like Paul said in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3. When they talk about peace and safety, then sudden destruction, bang, rapture. But the Antichrist, of course, who has said that right borderline just before the rapture, but at the end of the church age. So it's still church age prophecy. But then, of course, Daniel 9:27, he says, hey, and the Antichrist, of course, with abomination and desolation and so on. Okay, but that's a warning for Israel that this is going to happen during the tribulation period. But it doesn't necessarily it belongs into the tribulation period. It's actually a warning in the church age for Israel, okay, of what's going to happen during the trib. When they send this covenant. So, God led me through all these prophecies as I was deciphering the rapture of the church. So it's like this. That's why people are panicking, because they don't understand that the rapture of the church is a process. Okay, I'm going to repeat this again. The rapture of the church is a process. It cannot happen at any moment or at any time, because it will create prophetic chaos. Okay, it will create prophetic chaos, because if we have the rapture right now, for argument's sake, Israel is in the middle of war. And ask yourself this question. Say we are right now into the tribulation, according to most of you American evangelicals, okay, who said that the rapture can happen at any moment. Nothing is needed, so help me God, and you raise your right hand. If we have the rapture right now, then Israel right now they're not even in the middle of war yet. Okay, they haven't even done Isaiah 17, not the Elam Bible prophecy, and not the Ezekiel war. Okay, and Israel cannot rebuild the third temple whilst they are in war. Okay, so this has to happen at the end of the Ezekiel war of 38, 39, and the Ezekiel war is going to be the last war that Israel will be involved with, because at the end of the war, God is going to glorify and magnify Himself, and amongst many nations, not all but many, and the heathen shall know that He's God. So there's going to be a revival at the end of the Ezekiel war. Okay, because God is going to magnify and sanctify Himself, and then more people will come to Christianity, will be converted, and then more people will go out at the rapture of the church. Okay, these big end time Bible prophecies are synchronous, because you cannot have, for example, the Ezekiel war of 38, 39 right now, because it'll be prophetically speaking out of it won't be synchronized perfectly. I'm getting tongue twisted, okay, because of my heavy accent. But what's happened then is that Isaiah 17 and the Elam Bible prophecy, these two trigger the Ezekiel war of 38, 39. Because of the big punishment that Israel has given, the Iranians and the Syrians and that coalition, So the Ezekiel war will be the last one, and this is all synchronous in prophetic order. Okay. Now, this is not something that's easy to do. You need God to give you the wisdom to decipher this. It's not an easy task, and I understand this. Although it can get a little bit frustrating, when I've done so many videos and I talked about this, so much, but. This is why we cannot have the rapture of the church right now. Like I'm seeing a lot of people out there on YouTube panicking. Oh, look at the hoodies. Why not the rapture now, folks? Listen, in when we had the COVID-19 at the height of it, in 2020, 2021, when we had the lockdowns, businesses went into shutdown. There were a lot of bankruptcies. People lost jobs, careers. Many people went homeless and things like that. And that was a perfect storm for the rapture. And, why are we still here then? Now things have recovered somewhat. People are back in their jobs. The economy is functioning, not 100%, but, we still got some, bottlenecks in terms of supply chain issues. But people are back with their careers, or a lot of people are. Of course, a lot of damage has been done as a result of this, but, to the world economy, we got high inflation and everything else that you are seeing. But, people see the hoodies right now and they think, oh, where's the rapture? I mean, okay, well, have you not read your Bible about the prophecies that I just gave you? Has not Isaiah and Micah prophesied regarding the third temple to be fully rebuilt and established at the end of the church age or in the last days? Didn't the angel gave John the Apostle the revelation that, hey, the third temple was going to be fully rebuilt at the end of the church age by saying to him, hey, arise, go and measure the temple, because that's already done for Moses and Elijah. That was finished at the end of the church age, and that's ready for Moses and Elijah, the two witnesses, to prophesy for 1,260 days, or for the first part of the trip. So I don't get it, folks. I mean, let me put it this way, folks. I've been studying the Bible seriously for the last 2 years, and I've done a lot of biblical decipherings, thanks to God who has given me the knowledge, okay? Because you need to be saved, you need the Holy Spirit to help you discern the Bible, okay? And also when I do all my biblical decipherings, I pray to God, God, come on, give me a helping hand here, let me decipher this, And I have a lot of fun. I love deciphering Bible prophecies, I love eschatology, and, God has given me the discernment to decipher many complicated Bible prophecies that until today, many people from both the Jewish camp and also from the evangelical Christian camp have not been able to come to terms or to properly understand or even decipher this. But thank God that He chose me, and I have been able to decipher many end-time Bible prophecies and things like that. So God is using me in a big prophetic way right now, even more so than I expected. I'm quite, honored, to have been chosen by God to decipher the Rapture of the Church is the first person in the world to do this and to decipher many others as well, many other prophecies and things, My prophetic work right now is tremendous, and God is me using it in just incredible ways right now. But yeah, what I'm saying is this, folks. If you want to be at peace, okay, because I'm saying this for the sake of your peace, because you guys want the rapture, I want the rapture too, but you know what? I have the peace and the comfort, and I'm not even worried about the rapture because I know it's not going to happen now. It's going to happen after the third temple is rebuilt, according to Isaiah and Micah, and the revelation of John, and the revelation given, by the angel to John the apostle. But you guys need to understand this, and you also need to understand that Paul, the apostle, was also a prophet. If it's okay for you to believe, the gospel given to Paul, okay, in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 to 4, why can't you then believe what Paul said, that hey, when they talk about peace and safety, then silent destruction? Are you hearing peace and safety right now? Of course you're not hearing this. I mean, look what's happening now with the hoodies, but you keep saying rapture, rapture, rapture in the next 5 minutes, and it's not happening. You are basically deluding yourself, you are fooling yourself, because, I don't say this in a derogatory way, but what I'm saying is that you guys don't understand prophecy, you don't understand eschatology, okay? And many of you have thousands and thousands of subscribers, okay? And you keep saying to them, rapture, rapture in the next 5 minutes. Can we have a rapture of the church in 2024? Let me tell you right now, it's highly unlikely that we're gonna have the rapture of the church in 2024. You know why? Well, think about it, folks. You think, use some common sense, right? Like, I mean, the third temple has to be rebuilt. We're not in Ezekiel 38, 39 just yet. It's going to take a while to construct a building, right? I mean, that's common sense. Do you honestly think that the third temple is going to be rebuilt by the end of 2024? I doubt it, So what I want to bring with this video, folks, is just some common sense. But above all, I'm telling you this, guys, that what I'm saying here is not my opinion. My opinion counts for nothing. I have to back it up with the Bible. What I'm saying here, folks, is 100% biblical, and it's true. And it's true because I'm quoting the prophets. Okay, I'm quoting Isaiah, Micah, I'm quoting the Apostle Paul, John. Okay, I'm quoting prophecies here. My opinion means nothing. I have to back it up with prophecy. It's just like say if you're doing a university course, right? Like I'm doing right now. I just finished my semester now, so I'm having a few weeks break. When I do an essay or a term paper, I have to back it up with scholarly references or peer review resources, okay? Same thing, if I'm gonna do a biblical video like this, especially talking something big about the rapture, then I have to back it up with the Bible, with prophecies, and I just did. I just told you all this whole bunch of prophecies, Isaiah, Micah, the coming of Daniel 9:27, and things like that. So you need to realize that Jordan are the custodians of Temple Mount, and Israel is going to need Temple Mount to rebuild the third temple. So at the end of the Circuit War, you have to think that they're going to sign this covenant with many, as per Daniel 9:27, at the end of the Circuit War, so that Israel can get Temple Mount to rebuild the third temple. And, we know the Bible really indicates that it's going to be a two-state solution. I mean, America is pushing for this, so is the European Union. So eventually, we know what the book of Joel says, the judgment, of Jesus against those that divided his nation. So we know that it's going to happen, And in my view, I think that the borders that Israel has right now established, it will remain like that. And what I'm saying is that the West Bank will go to the Palestinians. They will have their own state. Gaza, they're talking about Qatar, be a possible country that will help rebuild the Gaza Strip, maybe even with the help of Egypt or Saudi Arabia. Look, it's early days yet for that, but regardless, I don't think that the boundaries will change. I think that what has been established right now will remain, because don't forget, folks, that to change borders, it can take years and years, there can be a lot of years of political turmoil in political negotiations regarding borders. So I don't think that we have time for that. I think that what's established right now will remain, and I think that it'll be just easier for the Antichrist to say, hey, Israel, you can have temple man, rebuild the third temple, because the Antichrist is going to need that for the abomination of desolation. That was halfway towards the tribulation. So, and all these prophecies need to come to pass. So everything is going to happen exactly like the Bible says it's going to happen. I mean, the Bible is 100% true and accurate, and every single Bible prophecy will come to pass. And remember what Jesus said, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word will never pass away. Clearly meaning that every single Bible prophecy will come to pass, come by no matter what. So I just gave you the biblical. We got, 25 minutes. So you need to understand these, folks. You need to understand the end-time Bible prophecies, and study the scriptures, one of the issues why American evangelicals have for, millennia said that the rapture of the church is imminent and nothing is needed is because they have not been able to decipher this, But I have, with the whole package of end-time Bible prophecies. I'm the first person in the world to decipher the rapture of the church, and I will be proven right. I will be proven right, folks. Give it time. You know how I told you that we will be here for Isaiah 17, the Elam Bible prophecy found in Jeremiah 49, the Ezekiel war, and the third temple. Remember all these things. Remember that whilst I was with thee, I told you all these things. We're going to be here. Of course, the geopolitical is going to disintegrate, but we got high inflation and things like that. But hey, all these things, it's been prophesied, folks. And so, whilst I can understand many people don't understand eschatology, I have compiled for you the rapture of the church. And I like to ask all those people who have thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers who don't really understand eschatology and don't really know when the rapture is going to happen. Say to them, hey, it's going to be after the third temple, because that's when, Isaiah and Micah prophesied, that this third temple is going to be fully erected before the rapture, at the end of the church age, and also the revelation given, to John by the angel, hey, go and measure that temple because it's already done, basically, because it's going to be used for Moses for 1,260 days. And now we're going to have the rapture of the church right now to accommodate a gap theory, because the Bible quite clearly is that we go from one dispensation to the next. As soon as we have the rapture of the church, guess what happens? The Antichrist is going to rule for precisely 7 years. So how can we have a gap theory to accommodate Isaiah 17, Elam, Ezekiel, and the third temple? And also we cannot have the rapture right now to accommodate a third gap. The gap theory, because God cannot glorify, and I want you to understand this, God cannot glorify and magnify himself at the end of the Ezekiel war whilst, get this, whilst at the same time allowing the Antichrist to rule. Can you see how that will, be conflicting? God magnifying himself, amongst all nations, whilst the Antichrist is ruling, merry-go-round, being the Antichrist, being evil. Do you see how you cannot fathom that? You got good and evil all happening at the same time? No, as soon as the rapture happens, we will have seen the back end of the Ezekiel war, the third temple, and then the Antichrist is going to rule for 7 years so that God can dish out his wrath, his plan of 7 years of wrath, And after the third temple, once we have the rapture, there cannot be a gap theory also, because Israel has a third temple. So what would be the point of having a gap after that? Israel has a third temple and the Antichrist is ready to rule. So, and the Bible quite clearly teaches, that we shouldn't be opinionating theories regarding on what's going to happen, but we should be taking into consideration what the prophets have told us. You see? So, folks, I need to make this very clear. If you want to be at peace and know when the rapture of the church is going to happen, study exactly what I said on this video. Rewind it, watch as many times as possible. Watch my previous videos that I did regarding the rapture and things like that. And you will come to the same conclusion that I have, that after the third temple we are no longer needed. And that's the time that we're going to have the rapture. Now, I'm thinking it doesn't have to necessarily happen this way, but at the inauguration could be a perfect time for the rapture, for the Antichrist to confirm, the peace treaties and so on. like I said on top of the video, or this might happen sometime after, the inauguration. It doesn't have to happen during the inauguration, but I'm going to say this quite clearly. Sometime after the third temple, we are no longer needed. Sometime after that, we're going to be out of here with the rapture. Till then, we're going to have to, occupy and redeem the time, and learn the scriptures and teach people what I have been saying here with this video, folks. If you know the rapture is going to happen after the third temple, like I know, then you're going to be at peace, because I know that the rapture is not going to happen tomorrow. But I know that once the third temple is halfway done or 3/4, I'm going to be going, okay, it's time to share the gospel now. We're going to be out very, very soon. Once that last brick goes up, okay, get ready, folks. Peace and safety is coming, share the gospel. Yeah, All right, folks, I got to go home because I think it might rain, and I'm a little bit hungry now. What time is it? Almost 2 p.m. I got to cook my dinner and chillax. So thanks for watching, folks. Please give this video a like, not for the sake of me, but just so it gets shared and people know the truth, about the rapture and things like that. It's very important. All right, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.